Hi guys, welcome back to You Get the Gist. I'm your host Dirty, and today this is the very first episode starring another person. That other person is nobody less than Raudia. Give it up for my friend Raudia. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing really good. Thank you so much for having me here. It's such an honor to be your first guest in this show.
I know, right, guys? I know, right? I'm also so excited for it, and just imagine that next week or better say today, when this episode is going to air, it's going to be Raudia's birthday.
Oh my god.
Coincidence? I think the fuck not. Raudia is talented in so many different ways. She is a dancer, a choreographer, she's a singer, she's a songwriter, she does creative directing, she does modeling, so whatever the fuck doesn't she do? So Raudia, how is it to be able to live your dream?
It's amazing. It's funny because sometimes I don't feel like I'm really living the dream, but technically I'm doing everything that I always wanted to do. And obviously there's more that I want to achieve and that I want to do and expand and just create and live for. But yeah, it's always like I have to remind myself and take a step back so many times and just realizing that actually this is the dream that I was always thinking about and manifesting. So
it feels overwhelming, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So
yeah.
It must take a lot of courage to be self-employed, and you don't have the same income every month, do you?
Yeah, no, it's exactly like that. It's every month it's a new challenge. Every month it's a new overcoming. And yeah, I actually started almost a year and a month ago to be self-employed, and it's so crazy how this journey have been, and I have never thought that I'm really gonna be able of just living out of my art and doing what I love.
And now you get to do what you love through your hard work.
Yes.
So Raudia has always been a source of inspiration for me personally, as she is one of my best friends in real life too. I've known you since I was 17, I guess.
Yes,
That's
so
almost
long ago.
it's like 8 years that I've known her. We used to dance together. That's how we met. And she has always been this free spirit, this strong, independent woman. Like, it's not supposed to sound like a cliche, but she really lives that. She incorporates that strong, beautiful woman. And she always went for what she wanted. She did not care if this month she gets less money or if the next month is going to be a bit more stressful. The thing about Raudia is that it did not matter what type of challenge she faced. It literally did not. Maybe she was sick, but she still had to go to her classes and give a choreography, or maybe she has some personal issues that she needs to take a step back for, but she still ends up showing up. And that is why she is one of my biggest sources of inspiration. So tell me, how did you find out that you wanted to be an artist in the first place?
It all started actually really cliche like when I was a kid, when I was younger. I was always on stage already with my mom, with my sister. We had like a really cultural dance crew called Sabor Colombia. Yeah, and we started with all these cultural dances, and after some time I was like, okay, this is not enough for me, I want to do more. So I started to do tap dancing, these cool shoes and everything.
I did not even know that. I don't know you did tap dancing.
No, really not.
That's so amazing.
That's actually, like after all the cultural dances, that was the first dance I did. And yes, after some time, it was always like, okay, no, I want more. I want to explore more. I want to know more. And then obviously, I saw all these dance movies like Step Up or Street Style, and I was like, I want to be like them. And so I started to dance hip-hop when I was 14, and since then I've never stopped. And it's like a combination of just like my roots and the love for art, that after some time dance was not enough for me, and I was dancing in a lot of music videos or for different artists on stage or whatever, but I always felt like this is still not the right place for me. Even I love it, but I had the feeling I have to create something by myself. So
like there's more that I can do, there's more I want to show, more I want to share.
exactly, and have like an impact to people that, yeah, that feel that they're creative too. So, and how I thought I would reach out to more people is like using not only my body but especially my voice. And yeah, it led me to music.
Fucking amazing, isn't it, guys? Just like listening to whatever your guts are telling you and listening to your intuition telling you, I am a creator. I want to give something to the world that is more than just a choreography, let's put it like that, as if that's not enough already. But it's just inspiring, isn't it? So now that we've covered everything nice about being an artist and all the enrichment that you get in life, what are the biggest challenges that you face on your day-to-day life, on your routine life as an artist?
Oh, there are a lot of challenges and a lot of doubts. It's a fight with your demons actually to overcome these thoughts of, okay, today I don't feel like it. Today I don't want to move that much, or today my voice feels weak or whatever. But thinking about what you're gonna give to the people back when you're standing in the class and you're teaching is so good and so rewarding, because sometimes the people come to you and they're like, oh my god, I love this class, even you can't see it because they're so concentrated, and you just think, oh my god, what am I doing here actually? But yeah, it's always so surprising how much of energy you're getting back at some point. It's not always like that, and that's a challenge too, just to be in a room full of people that don't acknowledge what you do. But it's always a balance of, okay, some people do, some people don't, and I try to concentrate on the people that do, and where I know that I'm getting something back out of it, because it's a lot of energy you're putting out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a reciprocated energy for you that fuels you even on your worst days.
Yes, exactly. And
so community is very important to you.
It's really, really important, and I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff, even how I can kind of build this community even more and more, because at the beginning it's always just like a figuring out. So I didn't know how I can protect my own energy but still giving them, so I was only giving them but not getting something back. But right now I'm in a quite good place to know, okay, how much can I give today, and where's my limit.
So it was difficult for you to set boundaries in the first place because you felt like you have so much to give up until that point where you were just burned out.
Yes.
And you could not give anything anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So how did you get out of that?
I took a break, and right now I have the feeling I am in a break, even because 3 weeks ago I had an injury in my back. It was awful. I could not move. I got sick as well, so I was just staying in bed and trying to relax, but everything in my head and my body was just like, no, you have to move, you have to do music, you have to do this and that, and you get so crazy up here, but like your body is telling you for a reason, take a step back. So
it's the intuition, it's knowing inside, girl, I need a break. Even if this fast-paced world is like results, you have to keep your views high, you have to keep the listener number high.
Yeah,
you still need breaks, right? We're not robots, and that is also a thing that everybody has to learn. It doesn't matter if you're an artist or if you work a regular job. Let's say if you're building a business, if you're part of any kind of organization, it does not matter where you are, where you put your energy. Breaks are essential and crucial, and they will determine the long-term success that you're trying to get. Moving on, Raudia, do you wish your life was any different?
No, not at all.
Do you have any regrets?
No, because I think out of every situation there's something to learn, and my life is perfect in the most imperfect way that it could ever be. So it's amazing and I love it, and I wouldn't do anything different. Of course, I'm learning out of my mistakes, but they are so important because these mistakes or the lessons I'm taking are there to letting me grow, letting me become the woman that I am today. And I'm gonna do more mistakes in the future too, and I know that. And they're gonna be like, probably, hopefully not, but yeah, it's important that we are going through all these stages and phases in life. So I would not do anything different, no.
Kudos to you. Such a beautifully framed answer. I love that for you. I love that your mindset is on that level to say that even though I make mistakes, is absolutely normal and it's part of the journey.
Yeah.
It would be boring if you wouldn't make any mistakes, if you knew the right way all along, and if there was nothing to learn for you, like nothing to discover, nothing new to surprise you. That would be boring as fuck. I wouldn't even want that for myself. And so like my next question would have been, what was like the biggest lesson that you learned along the way? If you can put your finger on one or a few.
I don't think there's one big lesson where I think, oh, this changed my life. I think it's a constant process that I'm going through, always reminding myself of how amazing I am, or we all are, period. And yeah, it's the biggest thing I always have to remind myself is that I'm worthy of all the things I'm trying to achieve and I'm achieving, and that there's that time is just relative, and I don't have to stress myself about my journey because it's all there. We just have to live it and to believe in it and to trust into the universe or the unknown or into God or whatever it is for you.
Right. This is, girl, preach. Like she could sub me if I was sick one day. She could do my You Get to Gist
hi guys,
podcast.
It's me today.
Like it's not gonna be hi guys, it's going to be hey guys, it's Raudia. Right. Raudia, we're going to talk about your inner struggles in a minute, but up for now, what's next on your bucket list?
Next on my bucket list, so just general in life.
Yeah, in general,
okay.
What do you wish to achieve or to experience that you haven't yet?
So actually, this right now is something that was on my bucket list.
Oh, good.
Yeah, to do a podcast, to be a guest in a podcast. And
wonderful.
So it's happening right now.
So it's gonna be a good birthday present, you say?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Good. Let's get right into the nitty-gritty. Raudia, what were the biggest struggles that were the most difficult to overcome so far?
Just general in life or like in the process of being an artist?
I think you can see it as both, because I don't think that you have another personality to you being an artist and being you, or if you do, then you can also do too.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's like Raudia and me as a person, there are some differences, but in general they're kind of really similar. So the biggest demons, or what do you say it again?
Yes, the biggest struggles that were the most difficult to overcome.
The most difficult to overcome,
like the ones that you struggled with so long.
I would say like not believing, but accepting that not every person in life is for you there to stay. That some people are really just there to show you new things or to be a lesson, or
so it was difficult for you to let go and to accept that not everybody is good for you, like for the long run, but just for a short time, and after they fulfill their purpose, they had to be on their way and then leave you stranded there, leave you abandoned in some way.
Yeah.
So it was difficult for you to accept that.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's so funny because I just got a text message from a person I was friends with a year ago or something, and it's like kind of the universe is always giving you a certain pattern until you break it. And it's so funny because sometimes you think you broke it, or you definitely know that you broke it, but still there are like these little tests that the universe are still giving you just to see, did you really do so?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, it's fine, or you're like, oh shit, I need to work on that still.
Like a surprise test at school, like let's see what kind of grade you're getting.
Yeah.
So are you still struggling with this
Um,
specific demon, let's say?
no, actually not anymore.
So you did learn your lesson.
Yeah, I did. I really, really did. And I'm so proud of myself. But it's funny because the thoughts are there still, but I just don't give them attention. And it's just like, okay, talk what you have to say, just like let it all out. But I know that like in 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, cool. Back to the normal life again, you know. So
Back to the important thoughts that you choose
exactly
to give importance to.
Yeah.
So not every thought is here for us to give it any significance. Most of them are just here to be observed and to let go, just like passengers. So basically, you don't have to hold on to everything, because you saw yourself when a specific person has already fulfilled their purpose in your life. It's just detrimental and painful to try to force them to stay into your life.
Yeah.
And it's even not going to work, because you cannot force anybody to do anything for you if they don't want to do it.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to be good for you or for them. So kudos to you for learning that lesson. I think it is very important. And I think that many people struggle with that, because abandonment issues are such a widespread thing coming from our childhoods, and I think we don't talk about it enough, and we don't give importance to the kind of feelings that we have, because they're not feelings that we want to harbor. We don't want to feel bad because we miss someone. We don't want to feel sad because we feel lonely. So we just kind of push that away. We pretend we don't care about the person, or we don't care about the feeling, and that's how we turn our hearts into ice blocks. And that is how you should not do it, because our feelings are here to express themselves and to be acknowledged by us. And if we're just trying to force them to be something else that they are not, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, so true.
Normally, when you start out as an artist, it doesn't just work from overnight. The big money doesn't come in, and you're not rich overnight. You still have to do a normal job, and so it just feels like you have two jobs. It's just you trying to build up who you want to be and the type of life that you want, and then let's say regular job that just pays the bills and maintains a living standard for you. Like maybe you have to pay rent, maybe you have to pay for your food and electricity. Like those are the basics. And I feel that it's so discouraging for many of us to do both, because we feel overwhelmed with the amount of work that it takes to actually live your dreams. And that is, in my opinion, the reason why most people live a mediocre life, because it's easy to just go to work, get your bag, and then pay the bills and live from month to month. But that is not how we choose to live our lives. I choose to work a full-time job and also go to spend a lot of time on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Spotify, on trying to edit all of my content at the same time, recording everything, trying to come up with new ideas. And I'm also doing something in the background that I'm not yet talking about. So it's a new project that's going to come out soon, but fingers crossed it's going to be as soon as I want it to be, because it's a lot of work. But Raudia, when was that moment in your life where you said, I can no longer just be normal? Like, when did you reach that point where you said, I am dying inside if I just continue living this mediocre life?
That's a really, really good question. And there's a story for exactly that moment. I was studying, as you know, musicals, whatever. Stage performance. And after that, I graduated exactly of the time of in the time of Corona, of the how to say it again?
Pandemic?
Yeah, lockdown. Yeah, during the lockdown, I had my graduation, and there was no possibility for me to get any job in that direction, in anything that has to do with the art industry, because everything was shut down.
That must have been so discouraging.
It was so discouraging, and I didn't want to live out of the government, because I'm not good with paper stuff, and it's just too much for me.
It's just too stressful doing paperwork. I feel you, girl. I know what you're talking about. We live in Germany, by the way, and
it's a lot of paperwork. It's horrible. Yeah, I get so stressed out. So I was like, okay, let me just take any job that's out there. So I started to work in a call center, and they treated us like not human beings. It was awful. It was so stressful, and every day, even it doesn't sound much, but for me it was too much. 6 hours a day working there just to pay my rent, to live at the bare minimum. It was awful. And then after quite some time, I even got, I would say I was depressive, because I could not do anything else after work. I was just sitting at home, trying not to cry the whole day, and I don't know what I was doing, to be honest. It's just kind of all a blur. And so I got to this one point where I was like, okay, I can't do this. I just broke down. I was crying. I didn't know where I'm gonna go. I didn't know what my future is gonna look like. So I started to think about different options. And even when Corona wasn't that big anymore, and there was possibilities to go to the gym again, to do this, to do that, I got my first substitution class in one of the biggest dance studios here in Hamburg.
Yes.
Yeah. And from there on, I changed the workplace. I was still a worker in a different call center, but it was paid much better. They treated us so different. I had more possibilities and freedom and stuff, and it helped me for this period of time. But then I had a project that I wanted to do, and there was this decision between, okay, am I gonna keep doing what I'm doing right now, having a part-time job and trying to do all my classes and all my music and stuff, or am I just gonna go like
full in,
exactly. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, even if this project is gonna happen or it's not gonna happen, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna leave my workplace and do what I love. And I tried it. I gave myself like I think I said to myself, I'm just gonna try it for 3 months and see how it goes.
Good.
And it was so crazy, because when I let go of that, I started having more substitution. I started having my own dance classes. It was still a long way for me to become an independent artist and to have, especially music-wise, the team that I have right now. But dance-wise, it was just like building all up and going exactly into the direction that I wanted. And it was so crazy, because it shows again, like, if you make space for new things, that they're gonna come and you're gonna receive them. And yeah, so that's the story behind it. Yeah,
I absolutely love that for you. So first of all, you took that leap of faith. You took that risk. You knew it means, hey, I'm gonna have less income if this doesn't work out, but if I don't try it, I might never be able to do that big step. So even though you must have been scared that you cannot pay your rent,
so scared, like,
you
every
still
month.
did it. She still did it, and that is what makes the difference. Most people don't take that leap of faith, but she did, and now she is a popular artist. She is a she is a dance teacher. She is so much more. She's a creative director. Just as I said in the introduction, now she's able to live all that because she did it, and because you showed to the universe, here I am, give more of that to me. That is what I want to attract. That is what I'm manifesting, and that is what I'm here for.
So true. And it's still a process, don't get me wrong. It's like we said at the beginning, like every month it's still something new that I'm doing, and it took some time that I figure out like how I'm gonna do this all.
Of course.
And there are always new things coming in and doing and learning and stuff. But if you or someone else just thinks, oh, okay, should I really do it? Yes, just try it out. Give yourself some time, and don't put a time limit on it, kind of, because everything is gonna happen. It's gonna come. If you just put the work into it, it's gonna come. And I'm so sure about it, because I lived it myself, and I'm still doing it. So
it's not about controlling every step of the way and being like, by tomorrow I'm going to have 10,000 followers, otherwise It's not like that.
No, it's not.
It's not like that. It's just like, I'm trying to get 10,000 followers. Let's keep this example. And it might take longer, it might take shorter, but I will do everything in my power, and I will do everything that I can. I'm gonna put in the work, the dedication, the time, the patience, and I'm going to do it. And I know for a fact I'm going to get there one way or another. So growing up in the dancer community here in Hamburg, I didn't have that many friends that were spiritual and that understood the way that I think, but she did. And I did talk about my own spiritual journey in another episode, but today it's all about you. So I want to know, how was your spiritual journey? When did you find out about the law of attraction, that your thoughts attract your reality, about manifesting the universe, galaxies, all of that? Like, you are very spiritual yourself. Like, that is how you present yourself, and that is how I know that you are. But let me in on that journey of yours.
So I had a friend back in the days. I was like 18, I think, and I was always kind of interested in like more. And when I was quite young, I started to smoking weed. I don't do that anymore, but it helped me kind of to relax and to understand that there's more than just us, and it made me connect really strong with Mother Nature, with the universe. But I did not understand kind of how to use it. But then I met a friend, and he introduced me into meditating, into some books, Eckhart Tolle and stuff. And so I started to putting more time into that, into understanding more what's all behind it, and that I actually don't need any substance to understand who I am or what's the world around me is. And I cut it out a lot of people in my early 20s or like beginning of 20, and I put more interest into books, spiritual books. One of my favorite I would say not philosophers but scientists is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he's talking about like how you can really change your reality just by
rewiring the brain.
Exactly. And that was like, you can use science for your spirituality, and it all makes sense. So
it's legit. It's not just hocus pocus that we're talking about.
It's science. It's so
literal
crazy.
Science.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Quantum leaping and all of that, right?
It's crazy. It's like so much going on. And that was kind of it just took one person for me to find out about it, and it was like my own motivation to get deeper into it. So yeah.
Do you remember your first book?
Yeah, it was from Eckhart Tolle, Leben im Hier und Jetzt, living in the now, I think. Yeah, exactly. And first I didn't understand it that good, and I was like, it's so much. And even he's talking a lot about God, and I was growing up really Christian, but for myself I found out that everything is kind of God and
so
nature.
Like the universe, that is, when you pray to the universe.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah. For me, for you maybe it's praying. For me is manifesting and meditating. Exactly. But technically it's all the same.
Technically it is really the same. And that it's so sad that most people just like go into war against each other, because I'm like very Christian and she's not, and she's still one of my closest friends that understands me the most on a spiritual level and on a, let's say, intellectual level. Even though we don't believe in the same deity, because we don't put the same name to it, it's still the same meaning behind it.
Exactly.
So you started off with substances, and that is how you found out about spirituality. So kind of like fuck around and find out, I see.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, I started with Netflix with that show called The Secret. It was The Secret, and then I read the book The Secret, and that is how I started. But I guess we both start differently, but
some people have to live it, you know. It's not all online. Back in the days, there was no Netflix, you know, so you have to
How old are you again, honey? Like, she pretends that she's a lot older, even though you're like 1 year older than me.
Yeah, probably, maybe.
Girl. We are slowly coming to an end, but before we close off today's wonderful first episode with a guest, I would like to know, Radia, what kind of encouragement do you have for our audience today to go for their dreams, basically, in the form of when they're an artist, if they have a dream, if they want to build up something for themselves, what kind of advice can you give them on their way?
Yeah. It's always easier to say than actually to believe in it or to do it, but trust yourself and your dreams and don't give up, because you could be 2 meters away from the actual goal, but if you say, okay, I can't do this anymore, and there are going to be some times that you're exactly in that place, but just believe in what you do and believe in what you love, because there's nothing stronger than authenticity and love in this word. So if you just go the path that's meant to be, where you feel true, where you can speak your truth, and where you can just like be who you are, who you always wanted to be, there's no other excuse for it. Like that's gonna be the right thing to do. So never forget that. Just keep going. And
yeah, I feel like there's no stronger force than self-love and faith in yourself.
Yeah, faith.
Believing that you are worth it, that you are worthy of having what you want to have, that you're not asking for too much, that you're not dramatic, that you are not going with the trend of, oh my god, I don't want a normal life. It's just what you want or don't want. And if you are able to really determine who you want to be in this life and what kind of pattern you want to leave behind, what you want to be remembered for, that is what your soul's purpose is here to do, and that is what you have to go for. So
exactly,
thank you, Radia, for your beautiful words of encouragement.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so nice.
All right, guys, if you love the pod at least half as much as I do, then please give it 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Share the pod on TikTok, on Instagram, wherever the fuck. Send it to your mom. And check out Radia. I'm going to leave all of her links down below. She has perfect, wonderful, really good songs out there with music videos. She has a lot of content out there on Instagram, on TikTok. And if you are out here in Hamburg and you're looking for a dance class, this is going to be our next dance teacher. I'm going to leave all of the info below about Radia. So thank you again for agreeing to be my very first guest.
Thank you so much.
For trusting me that my project and your talent can fuse together and can create something beautiful. And yeah, thanks again for the whole experience. It was also very overwhelming for me, like opening up my project, my baby, for somebody else, and there wouldn't have been another person I would have felt more comfortable doing the first step with.
Wow.
So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'm sure that by the end of this episode, you get the gist.
Bye.